Wistoria Season 2 has been dropping bombs left and right, but there's one thing nobody seems to be talking about that I genuinely cannot stop thinking about. Will Serfort. Born with zero magic talent, the kid everyone wrote off the second he stepped into Regarden Magical Academy. And somehow, this guy has Wiz, this completely broken ability that lets him absorb literally any spell thrown at him and load it straight into his sword, turning it into whatever elemental weapon he needs in that moment. Everyone's been treating this like a lucky fluke, a happy accident, the universe handing the underdog exactly what he needed right when he needed it. But what if it isn't luck at all? What if someone, way back in the ancient past, deliberately set this up? What if Will was designed, or chosen, to have this exact power for a reason nobody's told him yet? That's my theory today, full anime only, based on everything we've seen in Season 2. And if I'm right, this might connect to something way bigger than anyone's expecting. We're talking Goetia level, ancient conflict, centuries in the making bigger. Let's get into it. Quick refresher for anyone who needs it. Will's been grinding his way through Regarden Magical Academy in a world where magic basically determines your entire worth as a person. And he has none of it. Zero spell-casting ability, but he's climbed anyway using pure sword skill, stubbornness, and a level of determination that honestly should not be possible. All to reach Elfaria, who he's been chasing since this whole story started. Season 2 has ramped everything up. We've got heavy training arcs with cerridwen, memory dives that are clearly hiding something important, the second blooming, and a traitor arc weaving through everything. And that's exactly when Wiz starts evolving in ways we haven't seen before, absorbing magic in new ways, growing stronger, becoming something way more complex than just sword guy blocks spell. The recent episodes have been dropping hints about where this power actually comes from. And once you start connecting them, it gets really hard to believe this is all coincidence. Okay, let's establish the baseline first, because the surface level explanation alone is already kind of insane. Wiz lets Will absorb incoming spells and feed that mana directly into his sword, creating these powerful elemental mage blades on the fly. We've watched it counterattacks that should have ended him completely, and it keeps getting stronger as the story goes on. But here's where it gets really interesting. During his training with cerridwen, Will unlocks something called Prime Pathos. And this isn't just absorbing raw magic anymore. This is loading his sword with emotions, memories, actual thoughts. His bond with Elfaria specifically plays a massive role in powering this. So my question is simple. Why does a guy with literally no normal mana output have an ability this specific, this powerful, and this perfectly tailored to exactly what he needs? That doesn't sound like random luck to me. That sounds like a design. Here's where I go completely off the rails. Stick with me. My theory is that Will wasn't born with Wiz by accident. I think someone, or some group, from hundreds of years ago engineered this, or at minimum, selected his bloodline specifically to produce a weapon capable of fighting something massive, something ancient. Think about what Wiz actually is. It doesn't behave like a normal elemental spell. It feels almost primeval, like a fifth element type of magic that exists outside the normal categories we've seen in this world. Like it was built a long time ago specifically to merge the two halves of combat that this world treats as completely separate: pure magic and physical sword skill. Wand and blade fused into one. And then look at who's involved. Cerridwen knows way more than she should. Her involvement in Will's training, the memory unlocks she's guiding him through. That's not just a mentor helping a student. That's someone who already knows exactly what Will is and is carefully walking him toward becoming it. And Finn, along with some of the other major figures, has shown an interest in Will that goes way beyond promising student. That's the kind of attention you give someone you've been waiting for. So what's the dark secret underneath all this?
My theory is that Wiz exists as part of some long-term plan against a threat on the scale of the celestial hosts or Goetia. Will's body hoards mana he physically cannot release the normal way, which sounds like a flaw until you realize it makes him the perfect vessel for absorbing and weaponizing magic that isn't his own. His connection with Elfaria as a kid might have been the spark that activated all of this. But the foundation? I think that was laid generations before he was even born, through bloodline manipulation, ancient rituals, something deliberate and old. Let me stack up what we've actually seen that points toward this. Cerridwen knows too much. Her deep involvement, the memory dive she's guiding Will through, this isn't generic mentorship. This is someone who has access to history most people in this world have completely forgotten, and she's using it specifically on Will. Prime pathos feels intentional. The way Wiz evolves through emotion and memory rather than just raw mana absorption, that's an incredibly specific design choice. It feels built for someone with an unbreakable will and deep emotional bonds. Which, conveniently, is exactly who Will is. Finn's interest isn't casual. When someone at that level of power and influence starts paying special attention to a talentless student and starts hinting at some bigger destiny, that's not random curiosity. That's someone who already knows what Will might become. The timing lines up too well. The invasions, the traitor arc, the specific threats that keep appearing, Wiz seems to counter them almost perfectly. Like the power was built with exactly these kinds of threats in mind. Put it all together, and it really starts looking like Will was either groomed, chosen, or engineered generations ago to become this hybrid wand and sword counterweapon, built for a fight that started long before he was even born. Now, I'll be fair to the other side of this. If this ancient origin theory ends up being completely wrong, the simplest explanation still works beautifully. This is just the power of friendship and willpower. Will's bond with Elfaria sparking something unique inside him purely through grit and determination. No ancient conspiracy required. And honestly, either way this plays out, it's peak underdog storytelling. The talentless kid becoming unstoppable either because the universe quietly chose him generations ago or because he simply refused to give up. Both versions are great. I just think the hints we're getting point towards something bigger. If I'm right about this, the Season 2 finale, and whatever comes after, is going to drop some massive lore about how Wiz was actually created and what role Will is meant to play in a conflict that's been brewing for centuries. So, what do you think? Was Will deliberately given this power by something ancient and deliberate? Or is this just pure friendship and effort doing the heavy lifting? Drop your theories below. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for more Wistoria theories, episode breakdowns, and finale predictions.